Hey you guys, what is going on? So gardening is something that you can definitely do year round. Since we're in November and we can't grow anything at this point, what's the best thing we can do? Let's amend our soil, let's get it ready for next year. Today I'm going to show you a cool hack on how you can get that ready. Stay tuned. So compost is something that you definitely always need for your garden. It's going to be good for the soil, it's going to be good for moisture retention, and it's going to invite those lovely microorganisms that are just absolutely essential to make sure that your crops are growing nice and healthy. What is a great way to do that? Well, leaves. Believe it or not, leaves. When you have your compost and it's broken down, that is about the richest stuff you could possibly get. Better than anything you could buy at a big box store. So guys, I don't have any leaves in my yard whatsoever. Why? Unfortunately, we don't have any trees yet. So we had to go out and try to find leaves. Well, that wasn't very hard. I actually went on social media and asked anybody who had extra leaves if they wouldn't mind saving them. I even offered to come rake them. Well, didn't have to. I had so many responses of, I got bagged leaves, come get them. Well, that's exactly what I did. So what we're going to do is we're going to take all these leaves. It's about 8 bags, and I anticipate even more coming by. And we're going to put it in a big pile, big compost pile. And we're going to let this thing break down over winter into spring. You're going to be amazed how quickly this starts to go down and gets overtaken by the worms and the microorganisms and everything that's going to eat at it, that's going to break it down into that perfect compost that we want for next spring. So basically what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be piling those leaves into one specific area. You want to make sure that it's tall, that there's plenty of room for those microorganisms to get in and basically survive during the cold temperatures as well. We need them to break that down, and it's going to be absolutely amazing how much heat gets generated in there. Oh, and there is one thing that I like to add in between those layer of leaves too, and that's this shredded paper. This is basically computer paper with a little bit of black ink, and I just shredded it. And so I'm going to put this in between each layer, and it's going to help those worms to get in there, those microorganisms. Like I said, it's going to break everything down, and it's no waste. So let's go outside and let's get her done. So what I have here is kind of my own little mini invention, but it was basically PVC pipe that we used to use for a chicken run. And I think we're going to start using it for composting just because it's going to keep those leaves in really well, and it's going to help it to break down. There's holes in the bottom there for worms to poke through if they want to and devour this stuff. But yeah, let's pour some leaves. It was at this point that Jeremy knew, once again, he had gotten too much. Now I want to show you guys something. See how full this is? I have only gone through 3 bags of leaves right now. I still have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bags left. And I apologize about the wind, guys. Of course, it had to be windy the day I do this, but as you can see, we're gonna have a lot of it. I don't know how, but I always overdo it, but I guess that's better than underdoing it. But anyway, what we're going to do is every couple months I'm going to come out here and I'm going to stir this thing up, because I guarantee you the microbes, they're going to be really, really busy, and they're going to be nice and protected and shielded, insulated underneath all this stuff. But they're going to go to work, and I mean they're going to go to some serious work. This thing will probably be steaming in the morning, just from all that work that they're doing in there and generating all that heat. But yeah, come out here every couple months and I'll stir this up, and by, I'm guessing, March or April, a lot of this will be broken down, and you're gonna have some super rich black gold that is just absolutely crawling with worms and that beneficial microorganisms that we so desperately want in the garden. Holy cow. As usual, I overdid it, but I fit them all in there. Somehow I squished them in pretty good. So guys, at this point, if you got a pile this big, you're in pretty good shape. One thing I would recommend is wetting this down and giving a spot for all that good mulch to break down with the microorganisms, the worms. Give them a spot that's nice and habitable. And as tall as this looks, guys, I'm telling you, by the beginning of next garden season, it's gonna get down there a lot. And we're gonna use this in the gardens, amend it, as you always do, with compost at the beginning of the season. Only this is going to be fresh, broken down, very rich compost. Guys, garden season is year-round. If you got leaves, there's a purpose for them. All right, you guys, and that is it for today's episode. Again, keep those soils building, especially in the off season. You will not regret it come spring. Until next time, this is Jeremy of Fleetwood Patch saying, you got this. Take care, guys.